Hello, friends, benders and non-benders alike. Welcome to Braving the Elements, Nickelodeon's podcast about all things Avatarverse. I'm Janet Varney.
And I'm Dante Bosco. And Varney, I got to cut to the chase here. Something
Okay.
has happened in this episode of Korra that's kind of mind-blowing. And, that, it's just this thing that it's maybe the most mind-blowing thing that's happened in the series so far.
Wow. That's a huge statement. I would love to... we should probably just, talk about the episode in chronological order before you just burst in with whatever this is. But give me a hint. Give me some kind of sense.
Okay, here's the thing. So in Republic City, it has a lot of cool architecture and ways of honoring the past.
Go on.
Right? There's a big statue of Aang on the Air Temple Island.
Oh.
There's a huge statue. It's very cool.
Okay.
And there's a really nice modest statue of Zuko in the center of town, which
could be bigger, is what I'm hearing from you.
No, but I just think that's cool.
Okay, I feel like I know where this is going, and I'm going to stop you right here.
But
because before you get into it, I just want you to check in with who our guest is this week, because this conversation might end up involving him.
It's none other than the Cabbage merchant himself. Everybody, welcome James Sie on both series. The Cabbage on all the series. James, good to see you.
Yes, that'll be on my. On my gravestone.
On the statue of you.
My cabbages, yeah.
Oh, my cabbages!
The giant statue of you we're going to put up.
Everyone's favorite moment, line, everything. And he's back in Korra.
I know.
But he's doing big things. It's no longer a cart.
Oh, it's much more than a cart. And this is this is a legacy now. We're talking multi-generational Cabbage.
I think there's a discussion to be had about how he got from selling cabbages to technology.
Yeah.
I was blown away. We didn't talk about it last episode, but that's the first time I was like, Cabbage Corp. Yeah. Cabbage Corp, what is he doing? Because it was just in the radio. He was sponsoring
there was just a little sprinkling of it to give you a little...
What's the Cabbage merchant doing?
Brought to you by Cabbage Corp, Republic City's trusted name in technology for over 50 years.
Success is the best revenge.
Yes.
So true. I can't believe how perfectly it works for the Cabbage merchant in The Legend of Korra.
Yes.
That was very true. We had you on season 2.
Yes.
We had you on one of my favorite episodes, Avatar Day. I had to revisit it before we did this. What I loved about it was you were so delightful and humble and were like, all of these characters have so much depth and so much emotion and so much gravitas.
Beautiful.
And then there's me, and then I, if I may pat myself on the back, did a little twist and said, I think it's especially great that you are such an accomplished actor and writer in your own right.
Yes.
That even the Cabbage merchant is represented by a great mind and talent in the Avatarverse.
That's a very nice spin, but thank you.
And he has his own Funko toy.
He has a Funko,
But is remarkable.
He shows up in the live action.
He shows up in the live action. This is wild.
I will take that compliment, but I also think that it's actually an example of how much out of your control these kind of things are.
Of course.
That the audience will latch onto someone or something that they love, and then all of a sudden that becomes the big thing. I'm sure no one knew that the Cabbage Man was gonna.
The writers definitely didn't. We definitely talked to the writers
know.
about it. They almost, I believe it was John O'Brien who created the Cabbage Merchant. He was like, I don't know. There was I had that conversation with myself writing where I was like, is an eggplant funnier? Is cabbage funny? Could have been anything. Could have been anything. Could have been any vegetable. We could all be going, my rutabagas.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same ring,
doesn't.
does
But
it?
we don't know. It's just one of those things, especially in this industry, how we have to leave room to be surprised because
Well said.
things happen beyond our wildest imaginations. And especially since the show got so popular again after COVID, just the Avatar family, James included, we've traveled all around this planet together.
Yeah.
Taking pictures, engaging with the community worldwide, and having some of the best pictures of all of us together at the cons.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
It's amazing. I just started doing conventions, and that's been the best part of it.
Isn't it?
Finding this family that I hadn't had before.
Yes.
And hadn't met so many of you.
Right.
And that's just been so wonderful.
And is it so wild that our Avatar family are all good people? We all
I know.
We love each
I'm
other.
so
Cool
grateful.
people. It's so cool that we all get to hang out.
I am so glad, because that was definitely something that I really wanted. I just knew you had done some when we talked, when you did my podcast, for example, and we had some time together to talk non-Avatar stuff, but is that you are very much part of the same kind of emotional, you have the same kind of emotional response to getting those one-on-one experiences where someone is looking you in the eye and saying thank you for being a part of something that got them through something or that inspired them to do their own art. And I'm so glad, to your point, that it's yet another person who takes that in and holds that for someone, and that it means something to you.
Yes.
Because you're a phenomenal author.
Yes.
Please read James. I mean, will you tell people about your books, please?
Actually, if I may plug,
Yeah, let's go.
my first book, Still Life Las Vegas, is actually soon coming out in paperback. So I'm very, very happy. And then I have another one that's very important for these times.
Yeah.
And that's called, it's a young adult book called All Kinds of Other.
All Kinds of Other
All
is
Kinds
a
of
favorite
Other.
for me.
Yeah.
It's a favorite for me. It's wonderful. So knowing you for your work outside of Avatar, you're the perfect person to receive meeting those young people who are like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, thank you for seeing me. Thank you for, you know what I mean?
I
It's just great.
appreciate it so much. When you're there's so much love that comes through over the table.
And it's flowing. It's a
Yeah.
circle. It's a circle. It's great.
It's very wild. Like none of us have all these plans made up, and then things happen, and you're like, I guess I'm supposed to be the guy here to receive this.
Allow
and
yourself to be surprised.
Yeah, it's
A
like
great man once said.
It's just it's humbling, really.
Yeah,
Really.
It's lovely. It's lovely. Not so humbling, or maybe
Yes.
humbling, because humbling is always a weird word to use, because it's like, wait, it makes you humble to have people tell you that you're great. But anyway, it makes you humble to have a giant statue of yourself.
Cabbage Merchant gets a giant statue in Republic City. When we were
Look at what he accomplished.
when we were doing city planning, civics, and all that kind
You
of stuff.
were part of that.
I was a part of that. I don't
Zuko and
know.
Aang.
I think the Cabbage Corp they gave us a
some
lot of money.
contributions.
Exactly.
Some contributions.
It was either a statue or a wing of a hospital.
Yeah.
Maybe named.
And so
Corp.
he also you're great. You know, you like
Yes.
the Fire Nation voices do get passed down from generation
That's
to generation.
true. I don't know if we have that. Is there anywhere else? We should ask Mike and Brian. Is there anywhere else in the series he plays his own grandson?
Exactly.
Right.
You play your own son.
Yeah.
I don't know if that happens with anybody else. Who knew?
We did not know.
Who knew?
I think there should be a cabbage bending series.
There's some cabbage bending. Yeah. I
I'm in.
I was watching the first Batman a while back, and the Batmobile was going through Gotham, and he hits a cart, and the cabbages flew.
Wait a minute. The Batman, like the Tim Burton Batman?
Yeah, the Tim Burton Batman.
Really?
The Michael Keaton one.
Oh
Watch
my
the
gosh,
first
I
one.
remember
And I
that.
went, my cabbages.
Oh my.
Also,
cabbages.
there is a callback if you watch Furiosa,
Oh, wow.
right? So there's lots of starving people in this
Yes.
post-apocalyptic world.
Yes.
And there's these giant crates of cabbages.
Yes. I did notice that.
I would like to say it was an homage, but I don't know.
It's very
I like to think it is,
fascinating
too.
to be part of the zeitgeist a little bit. You know, what an interesting
Heck yeah.
thing.
Now, in this series, in Korra, the Cabbage Merchant's at least son has a name,
Yeah.
Lao Ganlan,
Yeah.
which is
Do
a step up.
Do you know that ganlan means cabbage in Chinese?
Did
Look
not
at that.
know
They think of
that.
everything.
Everything needs to stop. This is the moment in the show where we
Ganlan?
should all freeze and the credits should just run like in a 70s sitcom. It's not going to get better than that moment. I had no idea.
Yep.
I had no idea.
Gonglan.
Thank
Gonglan?
God you're here.
And do you know what the cabbage merchant's name is?
What is it?
This book that this
Oh, yeah, My
children's book,
Cabbages. Yeah,
My
yeah,
Cabbages,
yeah.
they call him Merchant Sai,
Merchant Sai.
C-A-I. So now I have a name.
There you
It's very
go.
nice.
Merchant side.
Yeah.
To many people, he's not even the cabbage merchant. He's the cabbage guy or the cabbage,
Cabbage
man.
man.
Cabbage man, cabbage
Cabbage
guy.
man. Cabbage
Yeah.
merchant. My cabbages guy.
But now we know it's Sai. Sai happened to have a wonderful son, who
Sai
unfortunately
Cabbage,
runs into a spot of trouble in this episode.
Yeah.
Perhaps falsely so.
No! Not my Cabbage Corp!
There's some skullduggery.
There's some skullduggery.
Skullduggery. I felt some skullduggery going on.
When we had you on,
Yeah.
and I went through and listened to it twice because I was like, this can't be. But I don't think that I think we asked you what kind of bender you would be. I don't remember talking about like the shipping world, and I don't,
No.
and I don't
No,
think
we
we
missed
asked you
it.
about hybrid animals.
We were too freewheeling.
Okay.
We didn't have time.
It was another time,
We
another
gotta
place.
rectify.
James. It was
Got
another
to
time, another
rectify.
place. So let's get into
We
it.
got
Okay.
to.
Who do you ship?
Baby, you're my forever girl.
Let's start with ships. In the Avatar verse, do you ship any characters?
I've been thinking about this, and who is the president of Ba Sing Se later in the later seasons of Korra? Wu, is it?
Oh, wait, of Republic City? Or of, Prince
yes,
Wu.
Prince Wu.
Prince Wu.
And doesn't Mako? Isn't he his bodyguard for a while?
I mean, I love where you're going with
See,
this.
I see this whole thing
I have
where
no idea where
going
we're
with this?
at.
He
I'm not
doesn't
there
know.
yet, but I can't wait to meet
We're
Mr. Prince Wu.
incepting it into your head.
Yeah.
There's
now.
another
So
prince?
it's being there.
There's another prince?
Oh no.
but I
Oh,
could
you took that's the wrong takeaway.
no, but I could see how Mako is very frustrated because he's having these feelings that he'd
Right.
never had before,
I'm loving
and then Prince Wu, he's there, and he teaches Mako to lighten up, and Mako teaches the prince how to be responsible, and then they, so that's it. That's
Okay,
what
I'm gonna look
thinking.
for it.
This is
I'm
a
gonna look
great
for
ship.
it as we move
is a
forward in
great
the
ship.
show.
Yeah.
I'll look for it.
Think about it.
Yeah,
Prince
think about it.
Wu, Mako,
It works.
Wako. I don't know.
Moo?
Muwak.
They're both adorable. Wako or Moo are both adorable
Yeah.
ship names. Okay, I knew you would bring something special.
I could dig it. I could
and
dig
that
it.
absolutely happened. How about hybrid animals?
Animal Crossing.
Hybrid animals. Do you have hybrid? They can be across both series. Can be, and you can name more than one if you like them.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that animal. It's a part cat and part deer.
Oh yeah.
And that's who he rides on it.
Yes.
I mean, who wouldn't want that? You can pet the cat. You can ride the deer.
I know.
Mula's the name of
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know.
It's got
Do I
so
not
much.
know
It's
that?
got to roll out.
What kind of cat deer are we talking about?
I don't know.
You ready to go, Moolah?
You sure you want to leave?
Whatever.
deer?
You can put it into your predictions. He predicts
Deer,
every
cat,
episode
cat,
what's
deer.
going to happen in the next episode of Corp because he hasn't seen it.
Right. Oh, I've seen it now. Some of it.
You certainly have. You've certainly seen the episode
I'm
we're
caught
talking
up.
about today. I'm glad to say. And then when tell us.
So before we start, may I ask you a question, Jen?
yeah.
After doing many years of Avatar in which you were not
Yes.
featured,
That's what I want to know too.
and now you've done a few of these
Yes.
recapping Korra.
Yeah.
Is it very different hearing yourself, watching yourself?
Can I be totally honest with you? It
Sure.
doesn't actually feel that different to me.
Oh.
Because I am such a fan that I get so sucked in
Right.
that I'm just not, I genuinely am not thinking about it. And that is not dissimilar from how I felt when we first watched it. At the very first episodes, we did a back-to-back, like Nickelodeon, rented out, there was a big tent and it was on a big movie screen and there was a party and we watched, and I think I was the last person to leave the tent because I had to get it together because I was crying so hard because I still couldn't believe that it's better to cry than to just pinch yourself to the point where your skin is raw, which is the other thing I would have been doing if I weren't crying. But I just was this world just sucks you in so completely that the hardest thing for me, and I've told the story before, but the hardest thing, I don't know if I've talked about it here, the craziest moment was being done, having watched it, not having made a sound except for whatever emotional responses I have when watching it, and then going and being at the party and someone saying something to me and me opening up my mouth and talking and feeling like I stole her voice. Not the other way around. Like I was like, oh, this feels weird.
Shut your yapper and listen up.
And that was where it kind of came back together. Like, oh, I did do that. That sounds like, yeah, but it felt so much more real in that world that it felt very strange. And so that's the thing that I kind of carry with me is like, we watch an episode and then I feel a little weird for a second afterwards, but it is more that I feel like I almost wish my natural voice were different than hers.
James,
for her.
that being said, don't worry. I got a lot of questions for Korra during this whole recap.
good.
He's been looking forward to
Griller.
I've been
giving her
having a
hard
lot of
time.
questions. I have a lot more. I
Yeah.
assume more things are coming up that are. I'm gonna have to question. Like,
He definitely
Korra,
did
like,
not
what's
approve-
going on here?
He did not approve of Korra jumping at Mako
What
and kissing
is
him
she doing?
right after he
Korra?
says, yes, I have feelings for you, but by the way, I also have feelings for the other person I'm already dating.
I like Asami too. I don't know, things are complicated. I've been feeling really confused and
And so not a great move on her
Not
part.
a great move, Korra.
For anyone.
For anybody, especially not the Avatar.
It's like when Aang lurches
can't
desperately at
just
Katara thinking,
lean in.
I just said I was confused.
we've all been told in stories
Wait for the
that
sign.
the kiss is this magic moment. And if you can just force your way to the kiss, the moral is don't force your way to the kiss, y'all.
They flubbed kisses in this series twice.
Don't force your way to the kiss. That's not going to do it.
But Dante, don't you find that Korra, like the hormone level is exponentially higher?
It's very high.
Teenagers.
Teenager,
They can't help
and
that.
she's the Avatar.
Yeah.
They can't help that.
Yeah.
She's running hot.
And also,
Even
how
though
much
she's
time,
a water she's running very
how much
Fire
downtime did she
Nation
have
hot.
when she was so busy training in this isolated place? Like she's in the big city.
Yeah.
You know, she's like the first guy she sees, she's like, I'm gonna kiss that guy.
Okay, first person she sees. She saw a lot of people.
Oh, mom and
saw a
dad are
lot of
fighting.
people.
just so
I know
you
the
know.
first guy. The first guy with a scarf.
She saw a lot of people. I'm going to tell you something. The good news is that we still have one question left, so we're going to bring it back to you.
what kind of bender would you be?
I don't know if I want that kind of power.
When we had you on a couple seasons ago, do you remember what kind of bender you said that you would be?
I'm guessing Earth?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you still feeling Earth?
I've been asked that question a lot in conventions, and I am going to stick with Earth.
Okay,
Because you
beautiful.
can't have cabbages without
the Earth.
It's so true. Some say you also need
Water.
water.
But,
but-
well, yeah.
Water nourishes the earth.
Okay, I'll minor in water. How's that?
Oh, the minor in water.
We could
the
cook
minor
it
in
with
water.
the fire if we cook cabbage.
Don't need to. Don't
You
need to.
might like to cook cabbage.
Could eat it raw.
Cook
No big deal. You could
cabbage.
pickle it.
You
That's
could
just still
pickle
water.
it. That's true.
That's my favorite form of cabbage. Pickle it. Pickle it.
You're right.
Give it to me in
Sauerkraut.
kimchi. Give it to me in
Kimchi,
sauerkraut.
yeah.
Those are my
Kimchi,
two.
sauerkraut.
Yeah.
We don't cook cabbage.
I mean, you can cook it. I'm just
The
saying.
Irish
I'm
cook the
good if it's
cabbage.
pickled. Yeah. How many times has this happened to you?
Oh, drat! I can't find my keys anywhere.
Now you can lose your keys whenever you like, thanks to Future Industries Mini-Mecha Tank. A harmless and amusing version of our deadly full-size counterpart, the Mini-Mecha Tank's magnet simply helps with everyday tasks.
Kuzan, could you get me a spoon?
Sure, Dad. And I didn't even need to get up.
The magnet even reverses, so you can easily put that spoon away.
Kuzan, the spoon just shattered Grandma's heirloom teapot.
Future Industries Mini-Mecha Tank. It's spectacular. So our Earthbender friend over here, do you... I know that you know that Shiro Shinobi is our Jeff Bennett voiced character who recaps not just what's happening on the field, in the arena,
Right.
in the ring, with our pro bending, but also is tasked with letting people know what happened the last
Right.
episode of The Legend of Korra. So it's
Okay.
fairly meta in that way. We like to take it one more step meta and write a little recap of the previous Korra
We
episode.
meaning Janet Varney.
Okay.
It is my fault. It is my fault. Would you be up for reading our recap as an homage in the style of Shinobi's sportscaster voice? Do you remember it? And
20s.
are you up for it? Because we got it on a little screen right here for you.
Edward G. Robinson. Am I saying the right actor? Edward G.
I actually
Robinson.
have never said because I don't know. I think of it as a Howard Cosell thing, but like
Oh,
that's
way
also,
before Howard
also
Cosell.
not
Way
my
before
generation, so
Howard
I don't know. Like
Cosell.
I don't. That's
It's like Edward G. Robinson
Okay.
or what's my guy's name from the damn Yankees?
James Cagney.
James Cagney. It's Cagney, Edward G. Robinson era stuff.
Okay.
we try it.
Sure.
It's,
How many
it's
tries
great
do
if
I
it's
get?
bad, and it's great if it's good, and you can do it as many times as you want.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Putting a scarier spin on Cheaters Never Prosper, Amon rewards the pro bending champions, the Wolfbats, by taking their bending away. But that's just the start of a shocking, see what I did there, turn of events in the arena as chi blockers ruin perfectly good popcorn by hiding their zappy gloves inside the cartons. Avatar Korra, Lin Beifong, and the rest of Team Avatar put up a good fight, but in the end, Amon's gone with the wind. So, what dastardly devised deed does he have on deck?
Wow. Ooh, top
notch, top
three.
tier. I love how you
Top
get
one.
the actors in here and have them cold read.
That was extremely good.
great.
I'm going to have an
That was
aneurysm now.
extremely good.
It's great. It's great.
Thank
You really handled that alliteration I threw in at the end with all those D's.
You were trying to trip me up
You just
there.
sailed through that. That was no big deal. All right, let's talk. I'm feeling intimidated by how good that was. That's gonna be tough to beat. Also, it's not about beating anything. Okay, the aftermath we know was written by Mike and Brian. We know it was directed by Joaquim and Ryu, as all the episodes in book 1 are. Amon has he's gone pretty big on his attack on benders. It's out there.
Yeah.
He has taken away people's bending in front of a very large group.
He went
to show his
mainstream.
point.
Mainstream.
The arena is shut down, which, by the way, is also the place that Bolin and Mako lived.
Right.
So everybody's
yeah.
going to the Sato mansion. Asami lives there with her father, Hiroshi, and there seems to be maybe some more going on than meets the eye at the mansion,
Well,
right?
yes. There's a lot going on. Well, they got Mako and Bolin got invited. Well, they got invited to the island also.
They
Korra's
did.
like, you can come
They did.
stay at the island, and then they're like, actually, there's a mansion with our name on it. And Bolin was
Yeah.
all in.
He was all in.
100%. He
Yeah.
was also being kind of rude to the help.
Fetch me my towel, good sir.
Yes, master.
Yeah.
Bolin, not a good look.
He's
Let's
for a
not
kid who
be-
lived on the street.
He
he's
got into
just,
privilege
He just
real
wants
quick. He
the
went privilege
feeling
real
of. Yeah, I think what I will say to excuse that, not that it is excusable, but James, tell me what you think about this. Is that especially for Bolin, a lot of his life just feels like it doesn't seem real to him. Like it feels like it's a game, or that it's like he's on a ride, and on the ride someone has to call him Master Bolin. But like he knows it, like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's coming at it from a true place of I'm better than
cool
you.
with it.
He's just like, on this ride,
Right.
this happened.
He's just very excited by everything. He's a very excitable young man.
Yeah.
He's in for the good times at all times.
He's in for the good times.
And what's wild is I felt Korra feeling some type of way about Asami. And then she's like rolls with it though. You know what I'm saying? Because Asami's so aloof. She's like, just come hang out with us.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Korra's like, at first, like, I don't know. And then
yeah.
she's like, no, like, Asami's cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of, I didn't know how that was going to play out. I thought Asami was going to, like, totally be cold to Korra.
Yeah.
And she wasn't.
No. Seeds, little seeds.
Little seeds.
I mean, so much so when they're swimming. And then they go for that crazy car ride.
Yeah.
Which gave me all these Ghost Speed Racer vibes. I was like, oh my God, this is so Ghost Speed Racer.
Yeah.
And so I was really loving that part. And now we're seeing Korra and Asami just kind of like start vibing.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, Asami, she kissed her man, and you don't know that yet.
But that's what's so great about this,
Yeah.
is that it's not about two women fighting over
No.
a man. Women are friends with each other.
This is
and,
true.
I thought that was so great. They didn't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People get their feelings. It's interesting. There's no sense of like, this person doesn't deserve the feelings you have for
No.
them, or, I don't like this person because you like this person. It's like everybody kind of gets it. Like,
Yeah.
Asami would get it that Mako liked Korra. Korra definitely gets it that Mako likes Asami. Like, everybody respects each other.
Right.
And so I think that's like, to be
I think Asami's
mature
in the
enough
dark
to
a little
have
bit.
your heart hurting, but to still kind of be able to see that and to
Right,
not
100%.
want the drop. Like, I think everybody handles it really well. And there are also like big stakes things that are happening at the same time as the stuff that many of us went through like in high school or college. happening when that feels like that's the most important thing in the world.
Right.
And then to have to
It
kind
is
of
at the moment.
shake that off and go,
It
oh,
is the
wait,
most important thing at the
life or
moment.
death stuff is also happening.
What about when Korra's feeling some type of way about how pretty Asami is and she's in the bathroom?
I've always said about that,
And
do you
she
want to
hits
be
her.
her or do you want to be with her? That's
and
all
then
I'm
she hits
saying.
herself
That's
with
all
the
I'm
she
saying
hits
about
herself with
that.
the powder.
That's all I'm saying
I
about
mean,
that.
I actually love that about
Oh
Korra.
yeah,
like,
her being like, maybe I'm also
Maybe I
this
can do the-
person. Maybe I'm gonna be really like feminine.
But again,
and,
it reminded me
you know,
of Toph putting on makeup.
It is. There's a lot of Toph in
And
Korra.
there's a lot of Toph where she's like, let me just try the
Yeah.
powder. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not how you do it, Korra.
Yeah, I know. It's very cute. But before we get to all that, even though, which by the way, I think you really like this episode because that's the most he's ever said about the entire episode.
No, I like this
up top. He was
episode.
like, had a lot to talk about.
There's a lot going on.
You jumped in. I would say
A lot
this
going on in
episode,
this episode.
the last couple of episodes, things are really picking up. There's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot going.
Right.
They're some of my favorite episodes right here in the kind of juicy middle part of book one.
There was a lot of unexpected stuff for me in this episode.
How did you like the episode?
Oh, I thought it was great because there's so much at stake and so many family dynamic things that are kind of
Yeah, we
heartbreaking.
haven't got into that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a great point.
Yeah.
And before any of that happens, we should. I mean, I think we got to at least take a look, just in honor of the drama around the Cabbage Merchant and Cabbage Corp. Let's just take a look at what happens really early in the episode when Cabbage Corp gets busted.
This might be triggering, but I'll
I know.
try.
If you need to leave the room, we understand.
All right.
That's a scary looking bird.
Yeah, those birds are so totally creepy.
Okay, no,
They're coming in hot.
that's kind of not cool.
That's
Did you have to break the windows?
I'd like a poster of that.
Oh, it is a cool poster.
Yeah.
This is a lot of. Oh, and the gloves.
That's a lot of gloves.
There's enough evidence here to bury Cabbage Corp for an eternity.
Lynn's like, yeah, let's bury him.
It's
this
a
is what
nice building.
Remember I said I was going to say something earlier?
There's that. There's that.
There it is.
It's so great.
I'm innocent!
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Is it true that Cabbage Corp is conspiring with the Equalists?
The evidence points in that direction, but the investigation is ongoing. For the time being, we have frozen Mr. Ganlan's assets and are closing Cabbage Corp.
No! Not my Cabbage Corp!
Satisfying. So satisfying.
Wow.
I think so in
can't get
some
over-
ways that the Cabbage Man is a plaything of the writers.
Yeah,
who
for
just
sure.
amuse themselves.
Yeah, he's a
Of
puppet.
course they are.
That's not cool.
Amusing themselves.
He's a puppet.
No, I'm glad to be a puppet.
It is
No problem.
amazing that he has stood the test of time in the Avatarverse.
I know.
He's still here.
Now it's his whole corporation, not just one cart of cabbages. This is his legacy. Go ahead.
Good end.
Well, I was just going to say, remember when earlier I said I was going to give a shout out to someone?
Yes.
I appreciate that Lin Beifong is being very pragmatic about it and saying, right now, the evidence points to this. So we have to see it through. Right. But that's a very responsible way of saying it, opposed to like, this scum,
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
No, she was cool about it.
Like, she's prepared. It's, to me, that's like the right thing. It's like innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah,
It's like, that's the idea.
And it's nice to have a government in which the heads are calm and
Responsible.
Responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it turned out to be that maybe this was, I don't know, planted, they're open to that. They're open to follow that evidence. They're going to take it where the evidence leads them.
Punching bag.
Oh, my cabbages! My cabbages! Oh, my cabbages!
We're always torturing the cabbage merchant.
He
but it is a
was
beautiful
framed.
statue.
Let me tell you.
That's
framed.
what I mean. So
we don't know. At this point,
yeah.
I did not know. I was like, I could see possible frameness, but I also could see, after years of us being punching bagging the cabbage man, after all these years, he's like, you know what? I'm going to get him back.
it does.
I'm going to get him back.
It's a great fall guy in the sense that
Because all your cabbages throughout the time,
it's always Benders.
those Benders
Mostly.
that are messing it all up.
Sokka maybe a little bit too. But
Asaka, but he's with the Benders.
yeah.
And a Rabaroo.
My cap! Oh, forget it!
And a
A big Rabaroo. A big Rabaroo.
But it is a good it is a great fall guy because it's definitely like, well, who could be, this, he succeeded despite the Avatar, through the years.
Yeah, I'd like to think that because of his interactions with the Benders, he grew resilience and determination.
Yes.
And he also probably started getting a cart that was unbreakable. And that's
the unbreakable cart.
And that's where the technology
Oh my God, I love
started.
this.
There you go.
You took us through how that all would happen.
I don't know if it's canon, but I would like to think it's headcanon.
We do know
headcanon
at
for
Comic-Cons
sure.
all over the world, we've seen tons of Cabbage merchant
It's not going anywhere.
cosplayers.
That cosplay's not going anywhere. I
And
just
carts.
took some.
Yep, lots of carts with
and
cabbages.
cabbages.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time at the last con I was at throwing cabbages up in the air to try to get that frozen moment where we're both like freaking out about the cabbages and we want to see them floating in the air.
I think I get royalties if you do that.
Oh, good. Okay.
Cabbages.
I'm invested, so
good.
I'm very happy to do that as well. Okay, so very instrumental in developing the future. I'm glad that you have the headcanon that makes so much.
He has a
sense.
statue.
And also, like, if you're building your industry, do you have that much time to be just like completely focused on revenge and like?
No.
You're busy.
You're busy.
You're busy succeeding.
I did think Cabbage Corp. What are they making? I didn't know. I'm trying to get my head around it. I don't know.
Well,
it could have been these gloves.
I think, now that you've spoken to our friend, you can imagine how it would make sense that it wouldn't just be cabbages turning into like jars of sauerkraut that are going out there. It's actually the means by which
you can pickle them. The
can
pickler.
pickle them.
The
the pickler itself,
the chopper.
cart itself,
And there's
the
a
truck
technology
that carries
aspect.
it,
There's a
the
technology aspect.
Industrial Revolution, baby.
Yeah.
The Cabbage Man brings good things to light.
There you go. There you go.
That might be taken. That might be taken. Okay, so you brought up the powder in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You brought up the bathing suits. That's a kind of a callback to the beach a little bit.
beach.
Fun
Oh, yeah.
to see
Yeah, the teenagers
the bathing
being
suits
all
now.
teenagery.
In this era, the bathing suit, the teenagers being teenagery briefly before things get a little heavy.
Asami looking cute out there.
The racing, you brought up the car racing,
Ghost
which is
Speed Racer.
awesome.
Great cars.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
there's a whistleblower. Unfortunately for Hiroshi Sato, there's a
I know.
whistleblower.
That was kind of an uncool thing for Korra to do. A little bit.
For Korra to do. She's not the whistleblower.
I know, but she was like
Once she
eavesdropping.
Oh yeah,
They were pretty loud.
they were pretty loud.
They were pretty loud. She didn't mean to.
Yeah.
But I can see how.
I cannot believe you're trying to turn this on Korra.
I'm not going to turn on Korra. It works out in the end. I'm just saying I can see how Mako and Asami are feeling some type of way about Korra.
Why are you doing this? Are you that jealous of me and Asami?
What? Don't be ridiculous. That has nothing to do with it.
Like, yo, you came to my house
Who
and now
wants
you're...
to be that person? No one wants to be the person that's like, hey, I have bad news about something that means a lot to you. I may be tainted
But
by
it was like
being the person who's
it was
telling
a
you about it.
half sentence you heard.
Luckily, the Cabbage Corp investigation has bought us enough time. Trust me, by the end of the week, we'll be ready to strike.
And why do you think that Korra didn't accept the explanation? Because it seemed like Sato had a really good explanation.
He had a decent...
My number one competitor was knocked out of the game. It's providing me an opportunity to strike the market with a new line of Satomobiles.
Yeah, so do you think...
Her avatar's spidey senses were tingling?
Maybe.
I will say, I don't think it's that she wanted bad things for Asami. Like, I don't think that she was like, well, this will complicate Asami's life, and then maybe I'll get Mako.
Sato
Like, it
was pretty
pure.
cool up to now.
Hiroshi, yeah, I mean, he's
Hiroshi's
sponsoring the
right.
fire
He's
ferrets.
Sponsoring the fire ferrets.
Yeah.
He's like a giant of industry
Yeah.
out here.
But that's a good point, James. I don't have an answer for that. That's a Mike and Brian question because it is she literally doesn't she literally say essentially like, yes, he is saying that is what he meant, but I'm just telling you I was there, I heard it, and I just don't believe that. Like, because he's, she's like, but he said that's when we strike, and then he's like, yeah, in this way, it's true that she's got a feeling.
She's got a feeling. Actually,
What if she had turned out to be wrong? That would have been so
but
bad.
she was
so bad.
To give her credit, she was not adamant. Like, she wasn't like vilifying him. She was like, this is what I feel. This is what I heard. I'm sorry to bring this up. She felt very bad about bringing it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But then you do have someone who reveals themselves, right, to say, as a matter of fact, Hiroshi's wife was killed.
12 years ago, the Agni Kai triad robbed Sato's mansion. A firebender killed Sato's wife during the break-in.
Yeah.
By a what now?
I know.
A what kind of bender?
Firebender? Are you serious? It's
He feels
always
that
a
they are-
firebender, a water. You could have drowned it with the waterbenders, or some earthbender came in.
He's
and
very defensive that firebenders always end up being the ones that are thrown under the bus
It's
for
always like something
doing
bad happened.
things.
My whole thing got genocide. It was the firebender.
Where there's smoke,
There's
There's even a
firebenders.
saying. There's even a saying, Dante.
But what I'm saying is, I'm sure the firebender guy that came in and killed his wife was not alone. There were probably other benders. This is Republic City. They were traveling gangs.
I mean, the Agni Kai triad. The Agni Kai triad. I got to be
Agni Kai
honest
triad.
with you. I think you know there's only one kind of bender in the Agni Kai
Agni
triad.
Kai triad. Three element.
That's
I'm sure he didn't
that's
act
not what that
alone.
means in this case. The triple threat triad is the only triad that has
get it.
multiple types of.
There are some bad
sorry.
people in the Fire Nation, but there are a lot of good people too.
Yeah, absolutely. No one's saying. No one's saying that.
Right.
No one's saying that.
But you gotta admit, they be blaming it on the Fire Nation a lot.
It gets a lot of grief. The Fire Nation gets a lot of grief. Amon says that what happened to his family was a fire. Yeah.
Fire Nation, everything.
It's true. It's true. Because let's look at the moment at which we discover that whatever Korra's reasoning was, it did turn out to be something is not good.
This is
yeah.
and I love watching the earth, the metal bending people.
Oh, yeah.
you know, just
Chief, the estate's been
I love this.
No one has left the workshop since we arrived.
Perhaps we just couldn't see him leaving.
Top vision, barefoot.
Yes! Gotta get that seismic sense on.
Top vision.
There's a tunnel beneath the workshop, running deep into the mountainside.
What? There's no tunnel.
Asami, there's a tunnel. Sorry. That's rough, buddy. There's a tunnel.
That's rough, buddy. This is not a good look.
I mean,
Do you think your dad knows about this tunnel?
I don't understand. There must be an explanation. Maybe you don't know everything about your
okay.
father.
Don't rub it in.
damn, Korra.
Guys, you're ganging up on
Officer,
Korra.
Let it be.
Into the
Let it
tunnel.
sit.
She said
Let
that
it sit.
She
Wrong
said
time.
that very gently.
Wrong time.
Too early.
You three stay up here. Officer Song, keep an eye on them.
It's true. Well, she did not need to add that. She didn't need to add it. You're right. I feel.
She's like, I'm going. Sorry about
But she
that.
feels bad. She does feel bad.
They all feel like jerks because they were defending Mr. Sato.
This is a whole thing. They had no reason not to.
They had no
defend
reason.
him.
There, you know, he took you in.
Oh, man.
He's your elder.
That being said, this is a pretty cool series of tunnels. They did a nice job with their factory.
Whoa,
That's not great.
That's
That's
we're in
not
trouble,
great. That
you
looks like a
guys.
church to Amon.
That's a bad look.
That's not good.
This is bad. I can't explain you this.
Not your average backyard workshop.
What are these?
Oh.
What are
This is the first
these?
time we see they look
And
like,
I'm guessing those are the new weapons.
they look like diving suits.
I hate them.
I hate them. No. So many great angles.
I know.
Hiroshi was lying, all right, but where is he?
Okay.
Can you bend the floor though?
I think if you, I mean, it depends
They're
on what it's
bending
made
a little
out
bit,
of.
but they got this titanium
Right.
Platinum. Yeah.
Yeah.
something.
There's certain metals that are so pure they don't have as much earth
In there.
element.
I have a big question. How does she get her shoe off so quickly?
It's
like, is there a
special.
mechanism? What
I
is
think
it?
I think it itself may be metal, and she just kind of
Bent it down.
it was strips
cool
it
that
off
she
and,
did.
and then it packs back on again.
Just gave
I
me
like
good
that.
top
think.
vibes.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's like you are your mother's daughter.
Yeah, she really uses that seismic sense. If I may, you guys, and this is a real indulgence.
Yes, you may.
But this, if not now, then when? Can I say secret tunnels? Secret tunnels.
tunnel. No.
Bad guy workshop. Dangerous secret Sato secret tunnels.
Wow, that was great.
This is the dichotomy of the
you.
secret tunnel. This is a different secret
It's
tunnel.
a different secret tunnel.
tunnel of equalist despair
Yeah.
and destruction.
That being said, you just brought up Batman. Have we learned nothing from pop culture? A rich person's mansion is almost for sure going to have
Always gonna have a secret tunnel
a
and
lair,
a basement.
some kind of lair.
Not necessarily going to have a big banners of
Amon.
Yeah, the banners. I think the banners are a little much.
Felt a little much.
Yeah,
The banners felt like they were just waiting for someone to discover it. So that
That's
they
a
could
dead
be like,
giveaway. We're like, we need the inspiration. We need those banners here now.
yeah, it's not great.
That's not a good look.
It's not a great look. I do feel really bad for Asami. You're right. Korra didn't need to say that when she said it.
Asami, Mako, everyone was sticking up for us, Mr. Sato.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Sato's a piece of work.
Here's what I will say. Zuko and Asami could have a real good conversation about disappointing dads.
Yes.
the whole series is about. Have there been disappointing mothers?
Yeah. Zuko's mom's kind of disappointing.
No, she's loving.
She is loving, but she did he still feels like I was abandoned.
Yeah.
Help me out.
But
He was
no,
abandoned a little bit.
she did it for love.
She did do it for love, but there's moments he's like, damn, this is kind of messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, not completely, not Ozai disappointing, just like
Yeah.
somewhat, disappointing.
But you do see that Asami does the right thing in one episode instead of 3 seasons.
Whoa, yeah, I know.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
This is the thing again. So, Mr. Sato, great technology, and you're pretty good with it. I gotta admit, you know.
Oh, he's good.
I'm like, wow, you guys are really taking on.
He's good.
The police.
Yeah.
He's kicking butt for sure. But his backstory's actually, I mean, I know they blame it on firebenders, but you kind of understand where he's coming from a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Like they don't just make these bad guys like, oh, they're bad because they just are evil. It's like, oh, there's a reason why they're mad.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you're like, I kind of get why he's mad. He just went to a bad thing. He lied to his daughter. He's like, how's he gonna? What are you gonna tell your daughter?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty heavy though.
No, but it's true. And you see how when one type of person or one type of incident happens and it's traumatic, and it's kind of like Jet.
Right.
Too. Like Jet, your brain breaks in this kind of essential way where you cannot distinguish one firebender from the next. You can't distinguish they become as a people responsible for this thing that happened to you.
Yes.
And now it's about stopping every single one. Like can't have any of that anymore.
Yes.
And that's the kind of person that Amon preys on.
Right.
Is like somebody, the more damaged you are by a bender, the more malleable you are for someone to come in and say, let me fix this for you.
Well, the ideas of right and wrong are not as set in stone.
Right.
As, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As we're led to believe in the world. Like, there's actually a lot of different rights and there's a lot of different wrongs.
Yeah. And he loves his daughter.
He
Sato
does love
loves
his daughter.
He's not like, oh, he's so evil he never even cared about his own child. Like, he loves his daughter.
Yeah. But he lost the love of his life. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And maybe he thinks, it's for the good of the city.
Yeah.
So,
he thinks he's going to save someone else from
Again, think
going through
about
what he
it.
went
They're
through.
the equalists. The idea of equality
is on its face.
The idea that we all sign up for.
Yeah.
It's just...
Which is wonderful that they turn it.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. It's eerie. It should feel eerie. It should challenge us, right?
Yeah.
That's what's so great about the Avatarverse. I love that you said that, James. It's incredibly true. And by the way, shout out to Daniel Day Kim, who does a great job as Sato.
Shout out to Daniel Day Kim.
We find them in the position where Asami is making a choice, and we don't know what the choice is going to be. And for those of you who've been watching or listening to every episode, you know this, but we did confirm that Asami was actually supposed to. That could have originally in the original development of the story, would have perhaps been the moment where she did go with her father and was revealed to
she
be
might have known. Like, it could have been she knew,
person,
and she was
an
Azula.
adversary.
She could have been Azula easily.
Versus like they liked her so much as a character, they were like, she's telling us that she wants to stick around. Like, she's telling us she belongs with Team Avatar. We can't go that direction. Like, we can't lose it. And then it made it a deeper story because she does go with the chosen family.
Yeah.
She goes with the chosen family. Wow. Which is intense.
I never
isn't that
heard
cool?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is
so
wild.
you guys want to watch that moment of Asami's
Please.
decision?
Please.
Let's look at it.
Dad, stop!
Why?
Oh, Seychelles.
I wanted to keep you out of this for as long as I could. But now that you know the truth, please, forgive me. These people, these benders, they took away your mother, the love of my life. They've ruined the world. But with Amon, we can fix it and build a perfect world together. We can help people like us everywhere. Join me, Asami.
She's gonna grab
I love
the
that they let
glove.
this play out, and I'm ruining it by talking over it, but I do love that they let that play, the tension play so long.
And you think here's where
Yeah.
she's made the choice.
Yeah.
Right?
You're like, The music is so good, too. It really makes you think
and
that.
Her expression.
And she looks evil. Yeah.
I love you, Dad.
Bam, hit him with a shocker. Oh my.
I hope none of them have pacemakers, because that would be really bad.
Yeah, she said, I love you, Dad, and she hit him with a shocker.
I know.
Oh.
Well, he deserved it.
Really gets me. Oh, because Seychelles so good. Daniel Day Kim, they're both so good. They're such great performances. She really, the weight of her telling her dad that she loves him is so there. It's just like, it feels like that feeling where you're hurting and you still are speaking, and it feels like you almost don't have enough air in your lungs to say what you need to say. That's what I feel like Seychelles tapped into there, and I think
She was great. And like, shout out to Daniel Day Kim, because he played that scene not like a villain. He just played like a father.
Like a damaged
And it's heartbreaking.
person.
And he got hit by the lightning.
She did what she had to do. Oh, so good. Makes you love it.
And it does level up Asami's character.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
There's now so much more complexity to her.
Yeah. So much more complexity. And yeah, I think there are a lot of women in this show, not to make it women versus men. It's not that. It's just that when this show came out, especially, I just don't think you saw time and again so many women making hard choices, making choices for themselves, oftentimes in opposition to what the people in power were saying in the moment, that it would have been very easy to just kind of go with it. And Lin Beifong, Korra, Asami.
Strong woman. Strong woman.
There's just some good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Very inspiring.
She hit her dad with that lightning.
She did.
That's Azula-like.
I mean.
Wow.
Good.
Okay.
The good side of Azula, like the flip coin of Azula.
If Azula had that power.
Yeah,
and
she had that
used
power,
it.
and she used it
She
for
didn't
good.
use it on Iroh. She used it on her father.
Exactly. Yeah. She used it on Iroh. I know. Why would you shoot Iroh?
Because you're Azula.
Because you're Azula.
Because you're Azula.
But I'm saying she's like the flips. She could be like she's like the flip side of Azula.
Yeah.
It's great.
So I guess the guys are going to go to Air Temple Island after all.
God,
They're probably not going to stay
Air
in the
Temple
house.
Island. Here we go. No, you can't stay in the house. Is he going to be in
guess
jail?
he'll stay
Is he
at
going to be in
the
jail? If he's in jail, we can stay. No, it's going to Air Temple Island.
It has better Wi-Fi, so.
That's okay. So forget this. We're going to Air Temple Island.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's talk about your predictions for this episode, because you're right. You thought that Tarlock
I was close to
was
something.
in
I knew there was a plant.
Yeah.
As often, we know there's a plant. We just don't know who's the plant. So the aftermath, my first one was I thought Asami's going to find out about Korra and break up with Mako. That's on the back burner at the moment. She was actually being very cool with Korra.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still know something's going to happen. I just don't know when. Number 2, Lin Beifong and Korra become friends. There's a better bond than the beginning.
Yeah. They're not like playing ping pong together, but they definitely respect each other.
Oh,
and they're working
100%.
together.
And there's a lot of each other in each other. They're seeing each other in each other, which is great. And then the last prediction was to find out that Turlock, the waterbender,
Tarlock. We said that he turned him into a hybrid animal of a turtle and then
the
just a
warlock,
lock.
Turlock, is a plant, an Amon plant.
Yeah.
Because he's doing, but I didn't know there was a plant.
And it wasn't
Tarlock.
The Cabbage Merchant's son.
It wasn't
it wasn't Ganlan.
Ganlan, we have to, give him his due.
Justice for Ganlan.
Justice for Ganlan.
Why?
Yeah, wait, do we see?
No.
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 But we assume.
We need to see if we get out of prison.
We assume wrongfully detained.
I wish you just tore your, and you had just on your chest, justice for Ganlan. No. It's true though. I was like, maybe I'm just forgetting.
No, yeah, he deserves some kind of.
Presumably, he gets an official apology.
Well, but what happens to Sato Industries? So in a way,
oh, that's true.
He's now going to corner the market.
That's true.
That's true. I mean,
what if he planned it? No, I'm just kidding. He's the one who got the Firebender
I
to
knew
kill us.
there was a plan because
con.
Amon cannot be doing all of this on his own. He has too much power to be doing all those ninja guys can't be doing all that work for him. They have no office skills or who's printing all those banners and stuff. You need somebody with some deep pockets.
This is we need to talk. This is Dante logic, and I love it. It's my favorite.
Obviously, Sato has like
digging into the
office
weeds.
workers. Like they're printing all this stuff up, making it. Those ninja guys.
Those manifestos won't collate themselves.
Exactly.
Hole punch. Who will hole punch?
We need a corporation. Could have been the Cabbage Corp. Cabbage Corp people could have been the ones doing it, but obviously it's the Sato Corp people doing it.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh, poor Asami. Poor Asami.
Yeah.
So good predictions. Got close on some stuff. Hit some stuff right on the head. We also have a segment that we like to do, James. If you would be, that would be very honored if you would participate. We have Iroh's tea time. It's Iroh's tea time.
Let's make some tea.
In Iroh's tea time, we have this beautiful teapot that has all of Iroh's lines in it in little scraps of paper.
Yes.
We like to see, does whatever you happen to pull out of the teapot,
correlate?
Can we apply it to this episode?
Oh.
So pick a winner.
I would love to.
There you go. Let's go. I feel you're feeling the Iroh vibe.
And there were dire consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there were dire consequences.
I mean, what
he
can
did
we
it
say?
again. I've been saying I'm really hoping one day it will be like, my shoes hurt. I'm sort of hoping that there will be a silly Iroh line in there. He keeps nailing it.
I mean, for Asami,
That one totally
especially,
works.
and Mr. Sato. I keep calling Mr. Sato because
You're very respectful.
Because Asian culture, the elders, you always this Mr. Sato.
Yeah.
The dire consequences for sure.
Yeah.
Super dire.
Are these like fortunes?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
That was
Uncle
kind of
Iroh's
fun.
I want my
fortunes.
cookie though.
I know. We should at least have given you some tea, but I guess it couldn't be poured from the same pot, or it would be a little wet. A little bit wet.
And tonight's most valuable bender is
I can still fight!
most valuable bending in the episode. Does anybody have any
James, thoughts?
Any thoughts or anything to propose here?
I mean, I really did love watching Tenzin. Anytime he does the air fighting,
yeah.
because you rarely
It is cool to
that.
see him fight. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're like, oh,
and
'cause-
just how fluid he is.
Yes.
But I would say the earthbending was the most important. Maybe I'm biased, but just the way they
100%.
had those wires come
I
out,
know,
and
the
they could
metal is-
discover the.
I like and like
The
that.
seismic sense.
The top
sort
I
of.
always call it top vision.
I like
Top
top
vision.
vision. That's great.
When that bare foot came out, because otherwise they wouldn't have found the tunnel.
That's true.
They're just like, it's not here. We got outsmarted again.
Yeah.
And then Asami's gonna look at Korra forever, like side eye, like, damn, you really trying to incriminate my family.
Yeah.
James, you called it.
Yeah,
It's the
I think
earthbenders.
so. I think
It's the
Earthbenders.
earthbending. It's the seismic. Yeah, it's the
that
seismic sense. It's the
barefoot.
top vision.
vision.
Let's give it up for them. What about the
Non-bending.
most valuable non-bending? And I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. A lot of the times in this first book of Korra, it feels like there's more valuable non-bending choices than bending choices, which is such an interesting reflection of what's going on.
Right. The
with
the bending
equalists and
seems
stuff.
very vulnerable
It
to
seems
many
very
things.
vulnerable.
Right.
Perfectly said.
They've kind of engineered things because they know how bending works.
Yes.
So that that electricity is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the steel, and the titanium.
We have all these options for, and then also like moral choices. Like that would be considered non-bending too. Like Asami,
right?
Making her choice
I think that's
is
the-
a
then
non-bending
that's it,
moment.
the non-bending moment.
The whistleblower deciding to come forward. This usually does.
But
A lot of
the
times things don't
whistleblower-
go well for whistleblowers.
The whistleblower was a
A
plant.
plant. Yeah.
He was a plant.
That's a good point.
It's all these plants.
But it's still
Amon's
legends.
playing chess in these
He is playing
streets right
chess.
now.
He is playing chess, and he is playing. We are still all just pawns on his board.
They had the benders backed into a corner and had the upper hand on them, and then Asami
Yeah.
came in and turned on her dad. That's pretty much the
I don't disagree.
Yeah, they would have been captured, all of them.
It's Asami.
Yeah.
Asami, most valuable, non-bending.
Early in the
Hard
game,
choice.
she's not even Team Avatar yet.
Right.
She's like not even really. She's just a cute girl that hangs out with Mako.
She's a lot more than that.
But I'm just saying, she's the cute rich girl that hangs out with Mako at the moment until she gets the glove and turns. Yeah. And she drives really well. She should drive cars.
Good driver.
She
brings a lot.
She's a rich girl. She got cars. Her dad, she
to the table.
That turn is definitely the best, the most valuable non-bending.
So good.
Moment.
So good.
My prediction is, you can't really tell the future.
What do you think's gonna happen in the next episode?
Okay, when extremes meet, number one, Asami is going to get closer to Korra.
Okay.
Possibly, I think. Number two, Korra is going to have to continue her airbending training on the island. She has to, I mean, they're going to the island. She hasn't even tried to airbend for like the whole reason why she's here. Yeah. And I'm like, can you get back to your airbending?
It's not her fault. The city is falling apart.
But I just was remembering when she said, like, come live on the airbending island. I'm like, she's
You're
probably
like,
going to get back to her airbending. Like,
good point. That's a good point.
Korra, let's go.
Oh, again, making it about her, but that's cool.
Number three, the Cabbage Man's going to be redeemed.
Oh.
That's what I was thinking, James. It's there.
That's
Justice.
Great.
That's what
I
I got.
hope we see it on screen.
But you're telling me it's not going to happen, but that was my prediction.
It's a good prediction.
I was like, Fire Lord Duke comes like, we're sorry, man. They're out here doing messed up stuff.
Maybe it was a deleted scene. I don't know.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing in Republic City.
I'm sure it was. Those are good predictions.
Flameo, Hotman!
Hot take.
Oh, you feel that? Hot take. Do we have any hot takes from this? Any Flameo hot takes, as we like to call them?
Flameo
I feel like there's a consistent Flameo hot take that tends to come up in many episodes, which is this idea of it being complicated, the idea of being able to empathize, maybe just sympathize, but either way, with the people who have fallen into the sort of equalist manifesto world.
Telling you, the equality thing is very slippery. That's a very slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope.
Also, with that glove, everyone got lightning now.
Everyone
has a little lightning now.
You don't even have to be a firebender.
Everyone can just get lightning. Like every firebender got lightning, and then even the non-benders get the little glove, and now everyone got lightning, just lightning everywhere.
That feels like a little bit of insult.
But you can imagine, though, if all the all the benders are in basic control of the city, it would be very hard to institute any kind of change.
Very
and
true.
There's this kind of elitism feel.
That's very true.
Right? So I think the origins of the equalists was probably pretty valid. They just went the wrong way with it.
Yeah. Especially if, and then you start getting like all the criminal element being like, oh, we're definitely going to use, are you kidding me? We can do all of these things and you guys can't even do anything back?
Right.
Of course we're going to take full advantage of that.
100%.
Yeah.
It's rough out there.
It's the cycle of violence.
It's a cycle of
violence. So like, let's just make weapons so we all have lightning.
Yeah.
That's a really good.
Let's just make weapons so we all have lightning.
It's I did not care for seeing people getting electrocuted in the arena. I did care for Shinobi narrating everything that was happening to him as it was happening to him.
He was just in his...
What does he say? I'm currently wetting my pants.
I am currently wetting my pants.
He was in commentary mode, and it just kept going. He's a professional.
That was great.
He's a professional's professional.
It was great. Shout out to that scene. I guess that's my favorite, funniest scene. Even though I also like Bolin saying, "Do you think he knows about this?" Very good. Very funny.
Bolin.
Good comic relief. We need it because there's some heavy stuff happening. Cycle of violence, you guys. All right. You've made your predictions.
Yes.
We've talked about some hot takes. We got to talk about how much we love James Sie and how much we
love
appreciate you
James.
being
I
back
love you
with
guys.
us. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you. Always a pleasure.
back.
It was very
We
fun.
love your perspective.
We'll see you back here, hopefully.
Oh, heck yeah.
And we'll see
Oh,
you
yeah,
on
for
the
sure.
road.
I hope
somewhere,
so.
hopefully. Or
Yeah.
we'll just see you in random restaurants around LA.
Yeah. And then we'll open up our cabbage restaurant. All cabbage all the time. Even cooked cabbage.
Even cook cabbage.
For you.
Firebenders in the house. Cook cabbage.
Yeah.
All right. I've got some recipes, so.
Okay, good. But don't forget, you also need water to grow a cabbage.
Okay.
Everyone remember that, please, as your takeaway for this
See
episode.
you guys next week. Dive deeper into the world of Avatar with more of our award-winning podcasts.
Avatar, Braving the Elements is available right here on the Avatar Legends YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts.
And catch more Avatar The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra on Paramount+.
That's the stuff! You are my hero! Ah!